In this video, I'm going to show you the top 10 most unstoppable money plays in college football 25. Now, if you want to win more college football games, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for the best football gaming tips on YouTube. To make any pro level offense, you need at least one money play that your opponent has to adjust to on every snap. This makes it so that you can dictate what coverages they can use, which allows all of your other plays to work 10 times better. So today, we're going to show you the top 10 most unstoppable plays in CFB 25, also known as money plays. The first play we're going to show you is called Drive, from the bunch halfback strong formation, which can be found in the Oklahoma State and Stanford playbooks. Now, to run the play Drive, you must first have your 3 receivers or your bunch on the wide side of the field. As you can see, my bunch is on the wide side of the field. In other words, it's on the wide hash. And the other thing you must do is you have to make 2 hot routes to make this play as effective as possible. Those 2 hot routes are putting your point man or your right bumper receiver on a crossing route. To do this, you press triangle or Y and then the right bumper, and then all you're gonna do is press up on the D-pad, and that'll put the middle receiver on a crossing route. Then you're gonna wanna put your circle or your B receiver on a drag route by pressing triangle, B or circle, and down on the right stick. And then your final route combo should look like this. Now, when you go against a defense like cover 3, cover 2, man coverage, or even cover 4, this play will work. You just have to look at the correct receiver. So in this case, we're going against a cover 3 defense, and what that means is pretty much everything will be open. So what you will notice is when I snap the ball, number 1, we're gonna have this drag route wide open for a pretty easy gain. We'll be able to get 10 or so yards running that. I'm gonna set up the play one more time and show you all the other reads. Now, if you have a little bit more time, you can actually throw this crossing route straight to the sideline versus cover 3 for an easy dot. And then finally, if your opponent is covering all of those plays, you will actually see that you're gonna be able to throw this in route really quick for a possession animation in the middle of the field. So cover 3 is one of the worst defenses your opponent can run against the play Drive. Now, cover 2 really isn't much better. If they were to run a cover 2 defense, we simply set up the play the exact same way, and you will notice we're gonna be able to, number 1, throw our drag route for a few yards. Maybe if you break a tackle, you're gonna have even more yards. And then on top of that, your crossing route will be open. Cover 2 does a much better job at guarding the in route, but the drag route and the crossing route will usually be wide open for an easy dot straight to the sideline. Now, whatever was open versus cover 3 will also be open versus cover 4, so you don't need to worry about that too much. But when you're playing a man coverage defense like cover 1, it's also pretty easy to beat. So the drag route we can expect to be open, and the crossing route we can expect to be open. As you can see, the drag route will usually beat his man, and you'll actually be able to get 15 or 20 yards depending on if your opponent is putting flat zones on the field. And then if you're given just a little bit more time, you can usually expect your crossing route to get open, especially if it's not pressed man coverage. So when I snap the ball, what you will see is that this crossing route will beat his man, and you'll be able to get a ton of yards. So Drive in bunch halfback strong is one of the best plays you could use against every coverage in the game. The next play I'm going to break down is curl flat, also in the bunch halfback strong formation that can be found in only the Oklahoma State playbook. To run the play curl flat, just like Drive, you want to have your bunch on the wide side of the field, on the wide hash. Basically meaning these 3 receivers are far from the sideline, not close to the sideline. And to set it up, what we're going to do is put our furthest outside receiver on a streak. So triangle or Y, square or X on Xbox, and up on the left stick. This will put this receiver on a streak. Then we're gonna do the same thing, but on our X or A receiver, we're gonna put our tight end on a streak. Then we're going to put our circle receiver, triangle, circle, or B, on a corner route by pressing right on the right stick. And then the most important part is you're gonna press triangle and then circle or B again, and then you're gonna custom stem them all the way down. So hold the left bumper and then press down all the way down on the left stick. And what you will see is that this corner route will be very low. So this is really, really good against cover 2 and cover 3. So if your opponent is running a cover 2 defense like this, you're gonna see that number 1, this tight end streak and this deep deep corner route will be wide open. So when I snap the ball, what you will see is that if they don't get bumped too bad, you're gonna have this corner route straight to the sideline for an easy dot. And then if you are playing against a cover 3 defense, which is a little bit different, you're actually gonna look for the shorter corner route that you set up. So I'm just gonna quickly set up. You're gonna look for the circle receiver. And when I snap the ball, what you will see is that the circle receiver will be wide open to the sideline for an easy 15 to 20 yard gain. So this play is primarily good against cover 2 and cover 3, and the main reads you're looking for are the deep corner route and the short corner route. If it's cover 2, the deep corner route will be open. If it is a cover 3, you can expect the short corner route to be open. And that's why this play is so good. Now we're going to take a look at the play cross wheels in the tight doubles formation that can be found in the Charlotte and Maryland playbooks. To run cross wheels effectively, all you're going to do is have your 2 receivers on the short side of the field and your tight end and running back on the wide side of the field. So your alignment should look like this. And to set this play up, all you're gonna do is put the 2 receiver, middle receiver, Bernard in this case, on a streak by pressing triangle, triangle, and up on the left stick. And then your running back on a streak by pressing triangle, right bumper, and up on the left stick. That's Y if you're on Xbox. So if they're in a cover 3 defense, you're gonna primarily look for the post route and the streak or the wheel route to be wide open. And they will be wide open every time versus cover 3. So when I snap this ball, what you're gonna see is that the wheel route is wide open right beneath the outside corner, and you're gonna be able to hit that for some very easy gains. And if their user does not cover the post route, you can guarantee that the post route will be open against cover 3 for a simple possession catch every single time. Now, versus a cover 2, the middle of the field is usually covered by a mid read or the user. So I highly recommend on this play to look towards your wheel route and your tight end drag. So what you will see against cover 2, the wheel route will be wide open for a huge gain right over the cloud or hard flat. And if it isn't, chances are against this cover 2 defense that your tight end drag route will also be open, or open if the wheel is covered. And that's an easy 10 yards. The other reason this play is so good is it's very effective against blitzes. So if someone's blitzing out of, let's say, a cover 3, you're gonna see you have lots of options against the blitz. So for example, if they leave the middle of the field wide open, you can instantly throw the post. I'm gonna show you on instant replay what will actually come open instead of going through every single read against the blitz. So in this play, you just read the user. So in this case, the drag route will be open early, the post would be open early, the running back streak would be open, and sometimes if they do have hard flats, the wheel will be covered early, but if you wait, you're gonna see that the wheel route would also be open. So this is one of the best plays against the blitz. It's amazing versus cover 2, and it's even better versus cover 3. So I highly recommend you run it if you want to be in the tight doubles formation. The next play I'm going to show you is called PA wide receiver cross, that is also in the tight doubles formation and can be found in the playbooks on screen. Now to set up PA wide receiver cross, you're once again, just like cross wheels, gonna have your 2 receivers on the short side, your running back on tight end on the wide side. And to set it up, what you're gonna do is first put your square X receiver on a streak by pressing triangle or Y, square X, and up on the left stick. So it looks like so. Then you're gonna put your tight end on a wheel by pressing triangle or Y, X or A, and then you're gonna press right on the D-pad. That'll put your tight end on a wheel route. Then you're gonna put your circle receiver on a corner by pressing triangle or Y, circle or B, and then right on the right stick. And you're gonna stem this corner all the way down by pressing triangle or Y, circle, hold the left bumper, and press all the way down on the left stick. So it looks like this. This is what the final route combo looks like. You're pretty much hot roading everyone but this wheel route here, this little inner wheel. Now this is one of my favorite plays versus cover 2, especially simply because against a cover 2 defense, this wheel route will be wide open and very quickly. So when I snap the ball, you're gonna see this wheel route gets outside of the deep half, and you could throw that for either a possession catch or a touchdown the majority of the time. So I'll show you really how fast you can set this up. And just like this, the play is set up. Sometimes the custom stems put curls on the field. Don't worry about that. It happens to me too. So it looks like this. And if they are in a cover 2 defense, what you will notice once again is that this triangle receiver wheel route gets so wide open that usually that's a one-play score versus cover 2. So versus cover 2, it's extremely easy to beat. And then when you're playing a cover 3 defense, that's when you're gonna look towards your corner route. So in this case, you're gonna put the corner route on the field, stem him all the way down like so, and what you're gonna see is that when I snap this ball against a cover 3 defense, the circle receiver is wide open for an easy possession catch every single time. So if it's cover 2, you throw the deep wheel. And then if it's cover 3, you look towards your corner route. P wide receiver cross, it's one of those plays, it's very, very low risk, and it's very high reward. You can either get a 30-yard gain against cover 3, or a one-play score versus cover 2. If you're serious about getting better at college football 25, you should definitely check out my exclusive content on victoryformation.gg. In it, we already have over 12 tips in the laboratory, as well as my full Charlotte tight doubles offensive game plan and 4-3 even 6-1 defensive game plan. Just one of the tips in the lab breaks down the best money route combo in the game that you could use in any formation. And take an additional 15% off a membership with code SWOLO at checkout. Now we're going to take a look at the play 95 in the ace double tight formation that can be found in the air raid playbook. To set up ace double tight, you're gonna have your running back on the wide side of the field, and you're only gonna make 2 adjustments. Really, you're just gonna block your running back, and that's optional by pressing triangle or Y, right bumper, right trigger. Then what you're going to do is put your triangle receiver on a streak by pressing triangle or Y twice, and then up on the left stick. Final route combo should look exactly like this, and this is by far the best play in the game for looking at one receiver and just throwing it. This square receiver is on a very special route that allows him to beat pretty much every coverage, especially cover 2 and cover 3. So what you're gonna see is when I snap the ball against a cover 2 defense, we can throw the square receiver for an easy dot and often a one-play touchdown. And you'll also notice it's very quick. So even if your opponent blitzes out of a cover 2, they really won't be able to respond to that. And then on top of that, you might wonder, okay, well, it's good versus cover 2. There's no way it's good versus cover 3. Well, funny enough, you can actually throw this square receiver versus cover 3 as long as you throw a good pass lead. So if you're playing a cover 3 defense and I snap the ball like so, you're gonna see that the square receiver is actually open for a nice possession animation straight to the sideline. So not only does that route beat cover 2, it also beats cover 3. And the other part of this is if they are in a man coverage, you could of course throw it to the square receiver if you have a speed advantage, but this X receiver is one of the best man beating routes that I have ever seen, right? So that'll always be open versus man coverage. And then of course, if they are in a cover 4 defense like so, you won't be able to throw the square receiver very often. You'd have to really get the perfect pass lead, which even I can't do every single time. But this X receiver will usually be open for an easy dot right under the quarter. So this is one of the best all-around plays at beating every single defense your opponent can throw at you. The only downside is it's not in any team playbooks, it's in an alternate playbook. They probably knew that this play was too overpowered to be in a team playbook. The next play is called 95H divide, also in the ace double tight formation, and it can only be found in the air raid playbook. Now to run 95H divide, really it's only good versus cover 3, but the reason I still consider it a money play is because it's so good versus cover 3, and it beats it for a one-play score every single time, and it's incredibly quick. As you can see, this circle receiver post route, if you look at the angle at the way he's taking the post, he maintains all his momentum, which makes it so that this post is one of the fastest posts in the game. So when you run it, there's a noticeable difference between it and every other player on the field. So really, let me break this down. So first, I like to block my running back. I broke that down a few times. Then I'm gonna put a streak on the X receiver, pressing triangle or Y, X or A up on the left stick. And then we're gonna put our square receiver on a corner route by pressing triangle or Y, square or X, left on the right stick. And then we're gonna press the same buttons again, but hold the left bumper and press all the way down. And then just go up one notch. So it looks like this. This is the final play. And whenever you play a cover 3 defense, just look at how quick this post cuts, and you could see it's a one-play score by miles. No switch stick, no switching, no deep half, even from the outside corner would be able to cover it. And that's why this play is one of the best plays in the game simply because it's the fastest cover 3 one-play touchdown in college football 25. Now we're going to take a look at the play QB zone in the trips tight end formation that can only be found in the Alabama playbook. QB power is very easy to run because most good players will run a man-aligned defense against trips. That is, the 3 receivers will be aligned with their 3 defensive backs on the left side of the field or wherever your trips are. That means that this QB zone or QB power, whatever you want to call it, will be wide open to the other side of the field with the tight end. So if you just wait for your blockers, or even don't wait for your blockers, and you make one man miss, you're gonna be in the end zone the majority of the time. So that's why I really love this QB zone, because it forces them to either unman aligned and run a zone alignment to even have a chance at stopping you. So let's say they switch to a zone alignment, which makes their pass defense terrible. But if they were to switch to this, you will see that QB power is still very effective, and you're gonna be able to get to the outside and get yourself a big gain. And on top of that, if they do switch to a zone alignment, the passes will be even more open than they were before. But the majority of the time, good players will man align, so we snap the ball, really just wait for our blocks, sometimes even don't, take it with our quarterback, and get ourselves a gigantic gain. So that's why QB zone, QB power, whatever you want to call it, is one of the best plays in college football 25. The next play is PA boot shot, also in the trips tight end formation, and the play can be found in the following playbooks on screen. To run PA boot shot, you must have your tight end on the short side of the field and your 3 receivers on the wide side of the field. And to set it up really quick, and it's really easy, first we're gonna put our tight end on a corner route by pressing triangle or Y, then X or A, and then right on the right stick. Then we're gonna put our triangle receiver on a streak by pressing triangle or Y twice and up on the left stick. Then we're gonna custom stem the square receiver deep post all the way down by pressing triangle or Y, X or A, and then hold the left bumper and press down on the left stick all the way. So the final route combo will look like this. Now this special post route is super good at beating cover 2 and cover 3 when you set the route combo up like so. So first, let's show it versus cover 3. So if they're in a cover 3 defense, we're gonna look towards that deep post. And as long as you're given the time to throw the football, you're gonna see that that deep post will be open for an easy touchdown as long as your receiver can catch the football. So once again, I'll set this up just to kind of give myself a little bit more time because this play does take a little bit of time to develop. But what you will notice is that this deep post will fry the cover 3 defense, and it will pretty much give you a very easy one-play score. Now, unlike most post bombs, this will actually also beat cover 2. So if our opponent is in a cover 2 defense, just like so, you're going to see that this deep post will split both safeties, and you're gonna be able to get either a huge gain or a one-play score. So really just wait for that square receiver, it'll split both safeties, and you're gonna get yourself a huge gain or a one-play touchdown. So this play is really great at beating cover 3 and cover 2 for 50+ yard gains or one-play touchdowns. Now we're going to take a look at the play power in the formation Wildcat Unbalanced that can be found in the following playbooks on screen. Now, there aren't any real keys to run this Wildcat power. Pretty much snap the ball and look for a hole. You're gonna have tons of blockers, and the majority of the time, if you can make one man miss, or 2 if you use Quinshot Judkins on Ohio State, you're gonna be in the end zone a ton. This is one of the best, if not the best Wildcat play, besides the one I'm showing in this video right after this. You're gonna see that you make one man miss with Quinshot Judkins and you're gonna score, right? There's really not too many defenses they can put on the field that counter this. This is why in competitive play that this play and all other Wildcat plays are completely banned. So if that means anything to you, even the best players in the world cannot stop this play, and they especially cannot stop it with Quinshot Judkins. Now, you may not score every time. However, the majority of the time, you're gonna get yourself at least 5 yards, but the majority of the time, especially if they run commit, or they make a mistake in their defense, or they just don't, they over adjust. This is one of those plays that is pretty much unstoppable. So I highly recommend, if you're just looking to win games at all costs, hop in Ohio State, or really any team that has the Platinum 360 ability, and spam the spin move, run Wildcat, and you will dominate. Now we're going to take a look at the play Blast in the formation Wildcat Jumbo Z weak that can be found in the playbooks on screen. Now you can run this Blast one of two ways. You can either run up the middle and try your best to get a few yards. You're probably gonna get 4 or 5 yards every single rip, and it's a great play to run in the red zone. So you can just kind of follow your blockers, run straight up the middle, and get yourself a solid gain. But my favorite way to run is just to look outside. So really just sprint outside, make a man miss outside, and you're gonna be able to get a much larger gain when you do this. So if you can just get control of your running back quickly and go to the outside, it's going to be very difficult for your opponent to stop you. Once again, get control of your guy. Even if you're running backwards a little bit, you're going to see that this is one of the best plays to use to score in one play. Once again, I highly recommend using one of the Platinum 360 players. Ohio State has one of the Platinum 360 players. They have Quinshon Judkins. That's what I'm using right now. And then I also believe Kansas State has one of those Platinum 360 players. So I highly recommend, if you're running the Wildcat scheme, use one of those teams and you will dominate. These are banned competitively, but online, there's no bans. So run what you need to run to win games. Now that you can dominate with your money plays, you need defense. And the best video for defense is on the screen right now.